on the screen, you should see my screen.
Yes.
Annalisa? Okay.
Yep.
Up on the screen, you see the outline for today. And what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be shifting the format of these webinars to a little more informal, more of a weekly update, what's going on around kvCORE. And then toward the end, we'll do about 10 minutes of update. And then we'll open it up more for you guys to ask specific questions. And you guys can drive the conversation where you might want it to go. We're also looking at, right, Annalisa, maybe doing these in the Facebook group so that they get a little more reach and they're kind of easier to access versus GoToWebinar. So we'll update you if we do that starting next week. Okay, so that won't be a big change. So let's just talk about some of the latest releases, some of the biggest things going on with kvCORE. You guys can ask any questions in the meantime, and we'll get to all of them in the box. What I'm going to open up here is our support portal. And I don't know if everybody knows, but you can go to the support portal anytime. And there is a spot where you can see the latest happenings. And I kind of jumped to one of the latest happenings here. 1 second. It's
nice because they kind of break it up into, oops, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like you were going to say, product updates and new features right here. So a few of the things that have come out, I think in the last week, actually maybe yesterday these hit. The pet section hidden from the amenities on listing details page. You can set up market reports for leads on kvCORE mobile. This was probably the biggest one that I saw was the support for additional agent info fields. So you can add additional info to your agent profile now.
Yeah,
so
those are super cool.
Yeah, so everybody's aware of that. If you go into your profile page in kvCORE, new editable fields, your credentials, background, education, experience, accomplishments, and community involvement. So you can build out a much richer profile now. And I don't think I need to go into that in kvCORE. It's just up at the top right, Annalisa, where you click profile?
It is, and I did a video on it not long ago, and I'll make sure we link it in here too.
Okay. Next thing that I was just working on was for thanks.io. There's a new tool, and I had it all brought up here. There's a new tool when you click on the marketplace tile for thanks.io, and what it'll do is it'll kind of build just listed cards automatically for all your listings. And all you need to do to use that is to plug your Zapier key in. I have a whole video about that, but this is kind of what it ends up looking like. It'll bring up all your listings that you have, just like that, with the big just listed on it with your picture and logo. And then the whole real estate library that's in thanks.io will be down at the bottom. And what you can do is you can quickly click on any of these. So if I click on one of Josh's listings right here, it'll open up the card builder in thanks.io, and you can quickly go through and send out a just listed card. So let me just show that. It is taking a minute to load. My audio might be going out because I know it's resource heavy. But it'll load up straight in here. And the thing I wanted to show you guys was that you can quickly, you have the card going, but you can quickly drop a pin and send this to all the neighbors. That's kind of the big takeaway. And it'll be kind of handwritten. So you just listed, obviously, like that, and blah, blah, blah. And then over here on the right side, it'll be this nice handwritten font. So when you go on to the next section, I can quickly take a pin, take this little square right here, drop it like so, save and continue. And just like that, you can kind of have your cards just listed campaign out in the mail. And you could have also done, as you saw back here, I don't know, there's some seller prospecting, there's some recruiting, fixer-upper list. So I could have easily clicked this one and done it the same way and sent it out and bought a list of renters, for example, and sent that out.
Well, and then you could use that list on like retargeting on Facebook, couldn't you?
You can actually download the lists now if you buy them and upload them to Facebook. But now you're
cool.
Now you're going way next level. All right.
Well, what?
All right. So that's that. eCommission has been added. Now tomorrow I'm going to be doing a webinar with the folks from eCommission. I just want to show you guys where the tile is, and there's some information in the video in there.
So you did the thanks.io recap, the eCommissions, which is super slick. And was there anything else before we jump into like Docusign or API Nation?
No, go ahead on Docusign.
Okay, so just real quickly on the Docusign, it gives you the integration with a few more updates that give you a streamline of flow on those two platforms. So this is something that's controlled, you know, I believe from the top down for access. And it's going to give you a summary of transactions on your dashboard, your transaction placements and transaction flow, and people linking to get those docs signed, which is pretty cool. The other one that came out recently is the API Nation, which is super, super slick. It's on your dashboard via the marketplace tile, I believe. But this is going to be an easier way to connect things via like a Zapier type of action. So someone was asking a few minutes ago, hey, do you guys integrate with BombBomb? So we do. The connections of API Nation as well as Zapier and zapping it gives you that connection to BombBomb. You can also drop in videos into, you know, your like links to videos and so forth in your smart campaigns as well. And
great, and that's a good transition, that question about BombBomb into what's coming. And the big thing that's coming up, I believe it may be this week, don't hold me to it, might be next week, is a totally revamped email editor that will allow you to do things such as throw a picture of a video into an email template with rich HTML and you know, put a play button on it, similar to the way BombBomb does. So just know that that's coming. I've gotten a little peek at it. It's really good. Looks really cool, and I think they're just putting the finishing touches on it to make sure, you know, testing it out to make sure it's working well. But maybe by this time next week we'll be able to talk about it. Okay. So yeah, but like Annalisa said, if you want to use third-party email editors, you sure can via API Nation and Zapier. So if you want to zap your leads out or API Nation them out to BombBomb, that functionality exists right now. So yeah, and we had a question about what Zapier is. Zapier is basically an app that connects kvCORE to third-party solutions. So if you get a new lead in kvCORE, or you want to send it out to a third party, or you have a third-party application or software that you want to send leads into kvCORE, you can use Zapier for that. And the API Nation is actually kind of a shortcut. It makes it easier and cheaper in a lot of cases than what Zapier does. So you have both those options. I would definitely reference Justine, the API Nation stuff. Yeah, so I was just jumping into the group. We've had some good threads there. John was asking about adding days on market to searches. And we don't have a specific.
Right. So I jumped into, because John is actually, he's in K+. However, in kvCORE, you can go into the listings and search out, you know, your information on the listings with your options and so forth, bed and bath. And then you can go over to the column. And if you don't see the column for the day it was listed, you can actually add it in on the little column options on the top right of listings. And then you can actually click on the top of that column and sort by oldest to newest or newest to oldest. So you can actually see the oldest listings, like, you know, and then you can choose it by 100 and create a link, and away you go. So you have the ability to look at that information. It's not quite as streamlined as maybe it would be preferred now, but this is a way that will work for the time being.
Okay, so you mean what I have on the screen here, you'd go to the listings page and sort by the date?
Right, so it hasn't quite caught up on this side yet, but I'm guessing you're on kvCORE listings, and then you'll see the little drop down for columns on the far right. And that's where you can add in like the listing date if it's not showing there already. And then you should be able to click on any of the tops of those columns to sort alphabetically, or, you know, A to Z, Z to A.
Got it. Cool. Yeah, it's on my screen. I'm not sure why it's not showing for you, but it's there. It's on the listings page in kvCORE.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's how you can get around that within kvCORE, and I'll be making the suggestion that we get something added in like that. Which reminds me, you know, whenever you guys have ideas on items that you want to add in or check on to see if they've been submitted, you can always do that via the chat support. Share feedback on your chat at the bottom right hand.
So how do you create hashtags for leads you manually import? You can do that when you import, right?
Right, so when you import, you can actually add those to a column, and when you're using our lead configuration service, and they'll work with you on making sure they land where they should. If you have manually uploaded something and you're like, oh, darn it, I meant to add hashtags to this grouping, you know, you can search for that grouping on your smart CRM, and then click the little radio button to choose which ones you want to tag, and then go to a little drop down. I think it's more detail or more actions, I can't remember. But you click on that and you should be able to do a mass add of a hashtag right there. So this is why it's super handy when you do your onboarding to create that test account. So you can create your own hashtags in there, test your own smart campaigns. So what I was speaking to, like with the listings, is you can jump over here to listings on the top left, and I'll go to how we can sort like newest to oldest, and then I'll jump into how do I find my own listings. So when you open this up, I'm going to go ahead and clear my filter here. So we've got kind of a tabula rosa. And I can jump into this filter. So this is showing me all of the listings available in my MLS. I can sort this and look at different aspects within this filter. And then if I just want to see, actually go my listings only, I just toggle this to my listings, apply filter. Now, if I want to see specific dates of a type of listing or a location, you know, I can fill in all those little details here, the type, bed, bath, style, year built, all that good stuff, and apply my filters. And then when the results show up, I can then use this listings column, like listed right here, and we can actually click on this to change the sort. So now we can see, I mean, you know, 2010 that was listed. That needs to get going, right? But basically, you can go through and see everything that's older and when it was listed. So you can go through, and you can also ask the system to, you know, create a list of these for you. So you can go in and say, okay, I want to send this listing, that listing, that listing, that listing. You know, you can do it. You check your radio buttons. And then you can just either jump up here to email or text listings, or more actions and email to a specific hashtag group, or text to a specific hashtag group. So you have a method that you can look at those from oldest to newest as well. And Kingsley's saying, hey, does this pull from the MLS or does it only show listings I manually upload? Well, the cool thing about kvCORE is when you're looking at the listings tab here on the left, we're pulling all of this content directly from the MLS of which you are connected via your team, brokerage, office, what have you. So you have the ability to see everything on your MLS as well as create a manual coming soon exclusive listing. That will create a unique link on your website as well, or listing that's not up on the MLS yet. Maybe it's a pocket listing, who knows. And Ronald's saying, hey, how can we see the large pictures of a property instead of just the gallery? So are you speaking to like when we're looking at a particular property and you want to see larger photos instead of just the little thumbnails here? Yes, okay. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. The easiest way is going to be going to the direct link up here. So you can click the direct link, open up your website. This will open up the direct link to your site and that listing. Oh, and it's off market, of course. But you get the idea. You can open up your website here to see the larger photos. I don't believe that right-clicking and opening the image on a new tab is going to do anything but open up a smaller picture. Ronald is saying the problem with that approach is after 2 listings, the system requires to register. What you can do, Ronald, is actually create a link to those listings, like that unique list of listings that maybe you pulled that are new to old, old to new, or what have you. And you can actually edit those links and create a squeeze page with no registration required. So you can add in that call to action for no registration. Or you can dump that link into a landing page lead gen, and the minute they put their email in and are sent over, they're immediately registered. You can put a hashtag on them. They're going to land on your dash, and it'll be one click and done. So you've got a couple of options there on registration. Okay, and Joseph's saying, is there a way to delete a lead from the smart CRM? I have a few that are named rather inappropriately. Aha. So if it's something where you're like, look, this has got to go, I got to give it the old heave-ho, just contact support, just talk with them at the bottom right-hand side of your dash. For now, you can just drop them into archive, and you can also edit their names as well. So you have the ability to edit it now, drop them into archive, talk to support, and if it's something you got to give it the old heave-ho, talk with support and they can help you. Oh, Cindy clarified. Okay, on what she was speaking to on the coming soons is they have to be entered within 10 days. So Of course, when you do your manual entered listings, of course, always follow your local rules from your MLS. Okay, and Joseph's saying, well, how do we add a lender that is not in the dropdown? So Joseph, lenders are added in by your admin, your office admin. It's a top-down tool to be adding in. And then when you do get that information to them, make sure you grab that lender's web address, get their pre-qual link, as well as their NMLS number, because you're going to want to make sure you have all three pieces of those information for their. Where can we find the recording, Kimberly? Via these three ways. So we record them, we drop them into our discussion groups, we put them on the replay on our YouTube channel, and they're in the core learning portal, and there is a kvCORE webinar tile you can access there. So
yeah, and Lisa, let's hold for a minute. I'm going to send, somebody's asking me for some information about scripts, which we can find in the support portal, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I just want to get a link out to everybody. Power scripts, if you search power scripts in the support portal, it's right there, but I'll get a link and drop it to everybody. And then just so you know, guys, this is more of a, we've had some people say, well, this is moving a little fast, it's not that organized. This is kind of a weekly review. Our learning portal, which you can access from the bottom left of the dashboard, that's where you can get sort of the bite size, right, Annalisa, 2 minutes at a time.
Yes.
Make progress. So we're aware. We're aware that Annalisa and I are we bounce around. That's kind of what these sessions are for. And, the audio is a persistent issue. But
good times.
You'll have a much better experience in the learning portal.
And, if you guys are seeking, information to be added or edited, or maybe you're saying, okay, I've read this, I just don't quite get it, please never hesitate to let us know, because we want to strive to improve to make this all a lot easier for you to learn and leverage and be successful with kvCORE. Well, everyone, I appreciate you being here, and thanks for putting up with the good old technology. And we'll talk with you soon.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
All right. Bye, everybody.